Hello everyone, this is Ariane from La Fille de la Mer Handmade Soaps, and today I am going to attempt working with this Real Deal Red from the Fizzy at Crazy Colors Canada. This is a colorant that she sent me for free so that I would test it out for you guys. I've seen people using it and making an amazing red color bath bombs, so I'm gonna attempt and do the same. So I'm gonna show you how to bloom it in your baking soda, as the Fizzy has recommended I should do. So let's get to this working table and make some red. In my bowl, I have the amount of baking soda that I need to make a small batch of bath bomb, the recipe that I use with my bath bomb press, which is right here. And it's about 8 cups of baking soda. So in her direction, the Fizzy recommends that we use microscoops, and since I have 8 cups into my bowl and she recommends 1 to 2 microscoops per cup, I'm gonna go ahead and just use 2 right away. So I'm gonna use 16 microscoops of the Real Deal Red, 15, 16, and on the scale this gives me almost 3 grams of dye. So now let's add a little bit of distilled water just to make a paste. So I'm not going to be using a lot. Whoops. This should be enough. And using this little metal lab spatula, I'm just going to go ahead and get this all wet. So we're using the paste method because it helps to wet all of the color, the dye, and then when you add the hot water to it, it's easier to mix or to combine. All right, so everything is nice and wet, and I'm going to add the hot water. There we go. I added about 45 grams of it. Now, I really like my little Norpro mini mixer. It's actually a milk frother, but I use it for all of my color mixings, and here we go. I'm just gonna make sure that this is all whipped in really good. And then we're gonna bring back the baking soda. I have transferred my baking soda to the bowl of my KitchenAid, and I'm gonna insert the paddle, lift it up, and I'm just gonna start mixing on low and adding this red colorant. Okay, so to me, this looks a lot like pink. So I will go ahead and mix some more, because the starting point is 1 to 2 microscoops per cup, but I will add more because that's pink. That's not red yet. So I'm gonna do the same process again. So let's add another microscoop per cup of baking soda. 1, 2. All right, let's add the rest of the mixture. And mix another round. Okay, third addition. So I mixed another 8 microscoops, so we are now at a total of 4 microscoops per cup of baking soda. Now mixing a 5th microscoop per cup of baking soda. Hopefully this will be the last one I add to my mix. Hopefully. So here's the final red. I would say or describe it as being a very neon-y red. It's really bright. Of course, this is only baking soda, and because it has been really wet, because I've been mixing this with water in order to bloom my baking soda, this will now need to dry before I can actually make bath bombs with it. So I got a tray right here, and I'm just making sure that, you know, the baking soda and the colorant are evenly distributed, because sometimes the bottom of these bowls stays white. So I just turned everything so that it's red, and you can see it's really wet. It's very clumpy. So I'm just gonna set it onto this drying cookie tray. It's not a cookie tray, it's a food tray actually. And I'm gonna let it air dry until it is back to being as baking soda would be when it's, you know, first before being wet. I'm not exactly sure how long this will take to dry, but I'll be back to show you the results and make a bath bomb with it, because sometimes some colorants will morph when we add the citric acid, and hopefully this one will stay with this really bright and vivid color. My bloomed baking soda has been drying over the whole weekend and is perfectly dried now. So I'm gonna go ahead and pass it through a sifter so I have no more clumps. And then I will make my usual recipe and make fizzy donuts using it. And now that my baking soda has been drying over the weekend, I am ready to do my batch. I have to say that upon drying out, the baking soda turned back to a little bit pinkish. Let's see how it goes when I add my wet ingredients to it. So while this was mixing, I measured out my citric acid. I also put on my dust mask because I'm going to be adding some SLSA to this recipe. And it is very volatile and airborne, and it can get irritating for the lungs. So this container is almost empty. And I always add my SLSA on top of the wet baking soda, and then I pour my citric acid over it so that it doesn't fluff up in the air so much. Sorry. Okay. Oh, so now this is all back to being pink. After adding the citric acid, the real deal red went back to being really of a light pink. Maybe it's reacting with the citric acid, or maybe I didn't bloom enough colorant into my baking soda. It is, however, a nice pink, and because I was expecting it to be a little lighter, I did choose a fresh baked strawberry fragrance that I got off of Candora. I don't know if you can see, but so these are going to be pink strawberry donuts, and I'm going to just make sure that everything is well blended, and I'm going to go ahead and press them using the bath bomb press. As you know, I always put my bowl on a scale so that all of the bath bombs that I make are the same weight. And I'm just gonna fill out my donut mold to 125 grams or so, because I labeled them at 220 grams. These are really big bath bombs. You could make them a little thinner. I just like them to be like, you know, big donuts. And press. And then I always just remove the little bit that sticks in the middle. Just pop it on my drying tray, and that's it. Start over. Okay. Let's do it again. and I always poke a hole in the middle, because if you don't do that, you're gonna have a hard time forming the donut shaped bath bombs. And that's it. Here are the 12 donuts that I've made in this batch using the Real Deal Red colorant from the Fizz Fairy. I was hoping they would be a little bit more of a brighter red. This is more of a rustic light red, but I will make a drizzle and we'll be back in the next section of this video to do that a little bit later once these have hardened up. But if we want to compare the red with the hot pink, you can see if you put these side by side. So this one was made using the hot pink from the Fizz Fairy, and this one was made using the Real Deal Red. So it is a little bit more red, but it is somewhere across between a rustic red with a little undertone of pink. And surprisingly, when we put this mix into the water, it makes an incredibly beautiful, deep pink bath water. I'll see you guys in the snap to put the drizzle. And I am back to put the glaze on these bath bomb donuts. Basically, my glaze is a bath truffle drizzle. I've put it into a little hair salon squeeze bottle, and that I use especially for this. And I also have some little sugar hearts. And I'm basically just gonna be going around. And when you make your drizzle, you have some baking soda in there, also with some citric acid. So just make sure that you sift everything, otherwise it could clog the tip of this squirt bottle. So, and you have to be quick. Once the drizzle hits the bath bombs, it will start to set up fairly quick. So you need to put the candies or the decoration right away, because in just like a few seconds, they will start to harden up. And I decided to go with a white drizzle because I felt that dark red over this red would be not as much of a contrast. So that's why we're back to white today. I was feeling more white, and with the pink and the red from the little candy sprinkle, that's just perfect. And now I'm gonna go ahead and put some biodegradable glitter on these so that they're all nice, shiny. These are so pretty. There they are. Okay, I have a little tiny one running around because there's a snowstorm today, but I'm just gonna show you real quick. I just decided to color the leftover with some red, raspberry red mica, and just add a little red line on the side of these, just like that, to bring a little bit of a pop of color. And because these are made with strawberry, it looks like a strawberry glaze. Just going back and forth, making a line. This is also why I love to make my drizzle. Hey, little monkey. I love to make my drizzle with this type of bottle, so you can actually draw lines and make designs. And voila, the fizzy donuts are ready. They are scented in a strawberry fragrance, of course, and they were made using the Real Deal Red from Fizz Fairy in crazy colors. By the way, thanks to Tina for sending these goodies over. If you have ever used the Real Deal Red and have some tips on using it, please leave them in the comment section below. I like this color. I would like it to be a little bit more vivid. So if you can help me and help the community, that would be super awesome. But I really like the final look of the donuts because of the white glaze and the little extra drizzle and the hearts. I think they're super cute. They are perfect. I'm happy with that. Please, if you've liked this video, give us a thumbs up and leave us a comment, questions, or whatever you want below the video. I will see you again very soon in a rainbow soap video, because this is all rainbow. Goodbye.